Howdy, who all my stock market gamblers? Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, they keep pushing the market up higher, higher, higher. The market only goes up at this point, right? Until it doesn't. And there's going to come a point where the market gets a pullback, but I do think they're going to have one more push up, one more leg higher, right? They're going to print the money, push that up one more time, but the market continues to go up until it doesn't. But the market itself is getting a little bit frothy. Now, a lot of things are doing well, right? I mean, you got Nvidia up about 30% for the year. Gold and silver, both of those are up about 30%. Even Bitcoin having a good year, up about 25%, right? But a lot of this is just froth in the marketplace. And what you'll notice is that while stock buybacks are at a record high. Now, what are stock buybacks? Where the company buys the stock back. But who are they buying it back from? They're usually buying it back from insiders, top executives in the company, the ones that know what's happening. They're the ones dumping the stock for the stock buybacks, and then the retail investors sees the market going up higher and they jump in and they start buying it up full, both hands in. They're buying it on margin levels, record margin out there right now. So they're buying it levered. They're going to be the bag holders when that big rug pull comes. But the market is getting a little bit frothy. Now, people like Warren Buffett, he's sitting on $400 billion in cash. That's a lot of cash. Now, a lot of people would say he's just an old fool and has lost touch, right? He's not in touch with this market because the market keeps going higher and he's sitting on his cash making 4%. He's just waiting, right? But the market is continuing to press higher. Now he's expecting about a 50% drop. Buffett indicator 212%, normal's 100%. Warren's waiting for that 50% drop, maybe even more, so that he can deploy his cash, right? He can deploy the 300, 400 billion in cash. But the market itself is getting a little frothy. Now, when it's frothy, what happens? Well, it's an opportunity for a lot of the hedge funds to dump their bad investments on the market. See, there's so much money floating around there, and the money has to go somewhere. So if the hedge funds decide to dump their private equity holdings, those will get sucked up by the marketplace. Now, how does this work exactly? Well, you got the S&P 500, right? And you got about 20% of those stocks, 100 of them are zombie companies. So, right, you got 500 S&P companies, 100 of them are zombie companies. What's a zombie company? It's a company that doesn't bring in enough cash flow to even pay the interest on its debt, so it has to continually borrow money. Now, in the private equity market, I would venture to guess that, well, about 80% of the companies are zombie companies, meaning 80% of them losing money hand over fist, and they have to continue to borrow money. But a lot of these companies are so risky that because of the Dodd-Frank bill, the banks are not allowed to lend to these companies. So how does it work? Well, you got companies like BlackRock, Blackstone, right? They got these companies that they own. They're private equity held by the hedge fund themselves. Now, the only way these companies can stay in business is to borrow more money. They go to the bank. The bank says, no, you're too risky. We can't loan you money. But what the bank will then do is say, hey, you're owned by BlackRock. We'll loan BlackRock the money, and then BlackRock can loan you the money, and then you can stay in business. Now, BlackRock knows they're holding all these dogs on their balance sheet, and they'd love to dump them onto the marketplace. And because the market is very frothy right now, they're going to be able to package these companies up as private equity, and they're going to be able to dump them on the marketplace. Now, who are they going to be dumping them to? Well, thank God that Donald's looking out for the little guy, and he's signed that the 401ks can now pick up these private equity companies. Your pension plans can now buy these private equity companies. You see, we're reducing the regulations on the financial world. I mean, it takes $2,000 to be a day trader now. You used to take $25,000, but no, we want everybody day trading. We want everybody in this market. We want you on your Robinhood app not to look away, but to make 50 trades a day, right? We want you in there. Even if you have $2,000, that's okay. We're going to allow that. Same with your 401ks. We're now going to allow these hedge funds to dump their crap, excuse the word, but it is crap what they're going to be dumping on, and they bundle it up to make it look all rosy, paint the, you got to put the lipstick on that pig, and then they sell it to the pensions, sell it to the 401ks, sell it to the banking system where your money is, because they tell them this is a great investment, right? It's like what we talked about earlier, how Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, those are going to be packaged up as private equity, and they're going to be dumped onto the marketplace so that you can be the bag holder, right? I mean, we don't want, anyone else holding the bag. We want to spread the risk out. We want to spread it out to the general public. We don't want BlackRock to get hurt. And, the government, they want those off the books, so they're going to dump them onto the marketplace. So these are now going to be dumped onto the marketplace, and this is going to be a big problem for your 401ks, for your pension plans. Be very careful what you're investing in. Most people won't even know they're invested in this stuff because they have their money in a pension fund, or they have it in, mutual funds. Mutual funds will be buying up this crap that's being dumped onto the marketplace by these big hedge funds. It's called private equity, and this private equity can now be dumped onto the marketplace. We talked about that, alternative investments. Now, what else could they dump on us in this frothy marketplace? Well, how about stable coins, right? They want to dump these stable coins on. Now, when you think about it, let's talk about what a stable coin really is, right? I mean, first of all, it's not stable because it's going to be backed by the US dollar, which is going to be in free fall, and they're trying to prop it up with the stable coin, right? I mean, we got out of the petrodollar. That's fallen by the wayside. We need something new, and as Donald would say, well, the stable coin is the new oil, right? I mean, that's the new oil. And to make those stable coins necessary, they have to get the cost of Bitcoin to go higher and higher and higher. Now, what are we at? I don't know, 115 on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to head up higher while they push these stable coins onto the marketplace. So look for Bitcoin to head upwards. Let's call it 150, 170. I don't think we're going to get to 200, but we're going to head up higher in Bitcoin, right? Before the big rug pull. And believe me, when a big rug pull is coming, you're going to see that Bitcoin go from that 170, probably lose 80 to 90%, which would put it down somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. And you're going to see companies like Michael Saylor's strategy. Well, that company's going to go away. He lost 100% of his investors' money in the dot-com boom. He's going to lose 100% of their money again. This is just my take. He'll tell you that Bitcoin is going to go to $13 million a Bitcoin, and you should harvest a kidney and go out and buy Bitcoin with the money you got from harvesting a kidney, because he believes in it that much. And it's kind of funny, the one man that believes in it so much is going to be the one man that brings Bitcoin. May actually go away when the big rug pull comes. Like I say, expect it to go up to 150 at least, maybe as high as 170, because they're going to be pushing the stable coin. The stable coin has to be pushed on people, right? They need to get $2-3 trillion of these stable coins. Now, a stable coin is all it really is buying a bond, excepting you're getting 0% interest, right? I mean, the Genius Act spells that out. There is not allowed to be interest paid on the stable coin, which is, in other words, is a way that we're going to take advantage of the general public, and we're going to keep all of that interest ourselves, right? I mean, that's generally what the Genius Act put into place, right? I mean, the president and his two sons, they have their own stable coin, right? They'll make tens of billions of dollars with it, right? And that's really good because they need the money, right? I mean, the Trump family, I don't know if they have enough yet, but they're going to make tens of billions more on pushing the stable coin. Now, in this frothy market, this is going to work temporarily. Temporarily, you're going to see the market head higher. You're going to see Bitcoin prices 150, 170, but then you're going to see that big rug pull, and you're going to see Bitcoin go from 170 down to probably below 20,000. And if Michael Saylor starts liquidating all of his, he owns like 5% of the market, it may completely go away. The one man that believes in it the most is ironically going to be the one man that puts the dagger into Bitcoin. When it happens, not going to happen yet. Yeah, to give me the Bitcoin hate, I'm telling you, it's going to get to 150 at least, probably to 170 before the big rug pull. They have to push it. They have to. The stable coins have to get out there. They got to save the dollar. Dollars in free fall, going to go a lot lower. What do you want to be in? You want to be in the real stuff, right? The real McCoy. You want that gold. You want that silver. What are they going to do? They're going to continue to head higher, right? I tell you, gold will be $6,000 before the Donald leaves office. Silver will be triple digits at that point. Triple digit silver is coming. It's in the cards. Now, a lot of people are saying, but Mike, silver's going to be under $10. And I hope it does, because I would like to really buy some below $10. I started buying below $10, but now we're up. Can't get them below $40 now for the physical silver eagles, right? And gold, people tell me it's going to 1,000. Just listen to Harry Dent. A lot of YouTubers say 2,000. I would love 2,000. I got no problem with that. That would be the biggest gift I could think of, but I don't see it that way. 6,000 before the Donald leaves office, triple digit silver. Just my take. Your take's completely different. I know I'll get a lot of hate on this from the Bitcoin people. I don't know why I'm going to get the hate. I'm telling you, it's going to 150, going to 170. I'm just telling you that the big rug pull is coming. And when the big rug pull comes, you're going to see the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's going to drop probably 70, 80%, right? Now, all Bitcoin is right now, I mean, you put a chart over the NASDAQ. It goes up twice as fast, comes down twice as fast. So where will Bitcoin be if the NASDAQ drops 70 or 80%? Probably close to zero. When it happens, not happening yet. Get in there. Stay in there. Ride it out if you got the guts to do it. But it's going to hit those numbers because they have to push the stable coin. They have to get the market froth up there. All these, the head honchos at these corporations dump their stocks into the stock buyback programs, getting out of the market. You're going to need this froth to get Bitcoin high enough so that people will accept the stable coins. Stable coins are needed to buy the Bitcoin, right? They're the gateway. They're the gateway in and out of the dollar through the stable coin. That's what they want to push. They talking $3 trillion of these. They have to push. So they got to keep that printing press going so that they can get the markets frothy enough so they can dump the stable coins on you when they get the Bitcoin high enough. People will want the stable coins. They're going to dump the private equity, right? Private equity markets, they're bundling it up nice. BlackRock, Blackstone bundling it up, but they're going to dump it to the pensions, dump it to your 401k, and they're putting that lipstick on the pig. I mean, they got to make it look good, right? All of this stuff. I mean, if you mark to market, a lot of these private equity companies that they're trying to bundle up right now, they would be close to zero. Where are they valued at? Billions and billions of dollars because they don't mark them to market. They say, hey, it's worth this. Would anybody pay? No, in a fire sale, you get a nickel on the dollar, but they don't talk about that. They say, hey, you got to pay top dollar because we're going to dump these on the frothy market. As long as the market stays frothy, they're going to be able to dump this on the market. Be careful what you're in. Be very careful what you're buying. Be careful if you're in mutual funds. Be careful if even money market funds are going to be holding on to these stable coins, which are, I'm telling you, it's all going to come down at once. Just not yet. Right now, they need froth in the market to pull this off. They got to unload this stuff on the general public before they can do the big rug pull. So yes, I do believe we're going higher. Yes, there's going to be a little pullback in the stock market. That'll be a good opportunity to get some before the last run-up. The last run-up's coming. And you can see the last run-up's going to be led by Bitcoin, going to hit 150, going to hit 170. They're going to be pushing the stable coins like they're going to make them sound like they're the best thing ever. Look, if you want to buy a bond that pays 0% interest, get some stable coins because that's all it is. They're just stealing the interest on the bond payment, and they don't mind doing that because they are not looking out for you. They tell you they're looking out for you by allowing your 401k plan to be able to participate. They're looking out for the little guy. No, they're dumping the crap on the little guy. This is just my take. I'm Tall Mike. You like this stuff? Give me the thumbs up, but punch that subscribe button and get out there, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye now.